Have you ever just stood there looking out at the ocean and wondered what's really down there? I mean, way down there? Well, today we're going to find out. We are going on a journey from the sunny, familiar surface all the way to the completely alien, crushing darkness at the very bottom of our world. So let's dive in.
First, I want you to just look at this number, 95%. That is the staggering, almost unbelievable amount of our own planet's oceans that is still completely unexplored. Think about that. It's the biggest single habitat on Earth, and we've barely, scratched the surface.
And here's where it gets really wild. We have these incredibly detailed, high-resolution maps of Mars. The entire surface of a planet that's over 50 million kilometers away. But a map like that for our own ocean floor? Nope, we just don't have it. It's crazy, right? We literally know more about the face of another planet than we do about most of our own.
Okay, so our journey begins right at the top, in the part of the ocean we all know and love, the sunlit zone. This is where you find all the vibrant coral reefs, the big schools of fish. It's where the sunshine can still reach down, and life is, well, pretty much how we imagine it.
This is also the only zone where we can really measure our own limits against the sheer scale of the ocean. So for most people, about 40 meters is the safe limit for recreational scuba diving. But then you have people who push way, way past that. A guy named Herbert Nitsch freedived to an insane 214 meters on a single breath. And the world scuba record? That belongs to Ahmed Gabra, who went down 332 meters. To put that in perspective, that's like diving the entire height of the Eiffel Tower. And get this, we're still in the top layer. We're already at the absolute limit of human endurance.
All right, once we pass 200 meters, we leave the sun behind for good. We are now entering the twilight zone. Down here, only about 1% of the sunlight makes it through, and the world starts to get strange. This is where things get really, really weird. You see, when there's no sunlight, life has to get creative. It has to make its own, and that's called bioluminescence. It's basically a chemical light show inside an animal's body. Creatures like this bloody belly comb jelly, they use their glow for everything, luring in a meal, spooking a predator, maybe even just saying hello in the pitch-black darkness. But it's not just the darkness that's closing in on us as we go deeper, it's the pressure. The sheer weight of all that water above us starts to build into this immense, crushing force. And believe me, the deeper we go, the more intense it gets. It's one thing to talk about pressure as, a scientific concept, but what does it actually feel like? I mean, how can you even wrap your head around that kind of force?
Okay, try this. At 830 meters down, which, by the way, is the same height as the Burj Khalifa, the tallest building on Earth, the pressure feels like having a small car just sitting on your head. And remember, we are not even close to being halfway to the bottom yet.
Now we're plunging past 1,000 meters, and we've just entered the midnight zone. Down here, there is no sunlight. None. Zero. It is a world of absolute, unending blackness, unbelievable pressure, and, well, creatures that look like they came straight out of a nightmare.
I mean, how could anything possibly survive this? The pressure is it's like having an entire African elephant standing on every single square inch of your body. It's why creatures like the blobfish have adapted to be these gelatinous, basically boneless masses. It allows them to just withstand that squeeze. It's also why they look like a melted puddle when we bring them up to the surface.
And yet, in this totally hostile world, there are epic battles going on. Down at 2,200 meters, the sperm whale, a mammal just like us, dives down to hunt for its ultimate prize, the giant squid. And no, this is not a myth. We've seen the scars from the squid's tentacles all over the whales. It's proof of these titanic struggles happening in total darkness. All right, we are now descending past 4,000 meters into the abyssal zone. And the name abyss really says it all. It's this vast, freezing, dark plain. But it's not empty. Down here is where we find history.
Because at 3,800 meters, we've arrived at the final resting place of the RMS Titanic. Just to give you a sense of that depth, you'd have to stack 8 Burj Khalifa towers, one on top of the other, just to reach it.
The pressure at this depth is over 5,500 pounds per square inch. Imagine trying to hold up 4 elephants, balancing on the tip of one of your fingers. It's this exact, unforgiving force that led to the catastrophic implosion of the Titan submersible in 2023. It's just a tragic and very stark reminder that down here, there is absolutely zero margin for error.
And yet, life finds a way. Even deeper, at 4,500 meters, lives one of the most iconic deep-sea creatures, the anglerfish. In this world of total blackness, it makes its own luck. It actually dangles a glowing bioluminescent lure from its head, a living fishing pole, and it just waits for some unsuspecting fish to swim right into its jaws.
We are now entering the final frontier of our planet. Starting at 6,000 meters, this is the Hadal Zone. It's named after Hades, the underworld. And for good reason. This is the deepest, most extreme, and least explored place on Earth.
Getting to the very bottom of the ocean is one of the greatest challenges in human exploration. In fact, more people have walked on the moon than have been to the bottom of the Mariana Trench. It all started back in 1960 with Walsh and Pickard, and then decades later, filmmaker James Cameron made a solo dive. Every single one of these missions is just a monumental achievement of engineering against literally impossible odds.
And this is it, our final destination, the Challenger Deep. It's the deepest known point in any ocean on Earth, at the bottom of the Mariana Trench. It's nearly 11,000 meters down. That's 11 kilometers straight down. To get a feel for that, just picture yourself on a commercial flight at cruising altitude. Now imagine the ocean floor is that far below you. That is how deep we are right now.
So you'd think, right? In a place with bone-crushing pressure, near-freezing temperatures, and total darkness, life would be impossible. Well, you'd be wrong. Meet the Mariana snailfish. This little, almost ghostly-looking fish doesn't just survive down here, it actually thrives. It is the deepest living fish ever found.
So how much pressure is this little fish actually dealing with? Well, every single moment of its life, it's enduring a force of 1.7 million kilograms. That is the same weight as a fully loaded Boeing 777 passenger jet. That entire airplane pressing down on this one tiny creature. And it just lives.
And that brings us right back to where we started, doesn't it? We have found life thriving in what is arguably the single most hostile environment on our planet. So it really makes you wonder, if this can exist at the very, very bottom, what else is waiting to be discovered in that other 95%? What other secrets is our own world still hiding from us?